February 23rd, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a naked woman in Stamford breaking into a church. Danbury High School students protesting Donald Trump's immigration policies, this warm weather leading to some more wildlife activity than is normal, and much more. John Kovac joins us with today's forecast, a Nutmeg Sports Update, and later on we preview this week's front pages. But first, Stamford police say that a naked woman broke into a church Wednesday, destroying items inside. A priest at St. Clement of Rome on Fairfield Avenue called police at about 5 p.m. after he encountered a woman later identified as 32-year-old Selena Kelly, who broke through a door into the rectory, according to the report. An officer who was already nearby arrived and observed a naked Kelly destroying the chapel with a fire extinguisher. The resident priest confronted her in the basement as she was kicking in a door to the rectory. Police were able to take her into custody without incident and say she was obviously under the influence of some type of narcotic, and she admitted to smoking marijuana laced with a chemical shortly before going on her rampage. She was taken into custody and sent by ambulance to Stamford Hospital for evaluation. Damage caused by the incident included a shattered ceramic angel on the chapel's tabernacle, a broken door leading to the rectory, and broken picture frames inside of the rectory. And in other news, Shelton emergency responders were at the scene Wednesday of a car crash at the 100 block of Howe Avenue. Check out this photo shared by Echo Hose Hook and Ladder. Not many details on the accident available, but there were reportedly no serious injuries. And a plane crash from a local flight school crashed yesterday in a swampy area near the end of a runway at a Connecticut airport, killing one occupant and seriously injuring the other. The Piper PA-38 aircraft had just taken off from Tweed New Haven Airport when it crashed Wednesday morning in East Haven. Mayor Joseph Maturo Jr. says the plane reported an emergency, turned around, and fell from the sky. Police say the man killed in the crash was Pablo Campos Azona of East Haven. The identity of the injured man hasn't been released. First responders trudged through 2 feet of water and ice to reach that wreckage. The Federal Aviation Administration says it will investigate, and the National Transportation Safety Board will determine the probable cause of that crash. And according to the Weston Forum, Kyle Navin, who was on trial for the murder of his parents, again had his case continued, this time until Thursday, March 16th. Navin briefly appeared before Judge Robert Devlin on Thursday, February 16th in Bridgeport Superior Court. According to the Weston Forum, Navin looked thinner than he was when he was arrested and had long brown hair slicked back. He appeared in an orange prison jumpsuit and white shoes and had a full goatee. 28-year-old Navin is charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of murder with special circumstances in the shooting deaths of his parents, Jeffrey and Jeanette Navin of Easton, former longtime residents of Weston. He's pleaded not guilty to the charges and is being held on a $2.5 million bond. His case has been continued several times with no trial started, while Navin considers a plea deal offered by the prosecution. No details about the nature of the plea deal have yet been released. There was one development in the court last week, however. Judge Devlin ruled that a truck that was seized as evidence by the state can be returned to J&J Refuse, the Easton-based garbage removal company that Jeffrey and Jeanette Navin owned. According to Kyle Navin's lawyer, Eugene Riccio, Navin had no objection to the return of that truck. And in other news, Darien police investigated a host of car burglaries over the past week, and in each instance, the cars were left unlocked. 3 such burglaries were reported on February 14th after residents on Brookside Drive and Hollow Tree Ridge Road reported that their vehicles had been rummaged through. Another man on Hillside Avenue reported his car had been burglarized during the night of February 15th. In each case, the suspect opened the unlocked car and searched the glove compartment and center console. None of the victims reported any items missing, however. A 73-year-old Post Road resident told police he had 3 separate cars burglarized during the night of February 19th. Like the other victims, he found that the glove boxes and center consoles had been tampered with. The suspect in those burglaries stole insurance cards from all 3 vehicles and the registration and manual for 2. Also reported missing was approximately $80 in loose change, a Leatherman multi-tool, several CDs, and a cell phone charger. A neighborhood canvass did not return any results, but the victim did mention the cars had been burglarized in the past. And in other news, Tuesday night was a busy one for Weston Animal Control. The department received a number of calls from residents about coyotes running through their yards, and a small dog was seriously injured during an attack. Animal Control Officer Mark Harper said he got 3 calls last night from residents who said packs of coyotes were rampaging and howling through their neighborhoods. The calls came from the Lord's Highway Extension and Singing Oaks Drive areas. Harper said coyotes were spotted in both front and backyards. In addition, a small dog was attacked 2 nights ago by a coyote at a residence on Old Orchard Drive. That dog was in his own yard, protected by an electric fence. However, that obviously did not prevent the coyotes from getting in and attacking the dog in the neck and head. According to Harper, cats and small dogs should be kept in fenced-in areas or leashed when they are outside. Now, coyotes aren't the only wildlife roaming in Weston. A black bear was also spotted this week on Blue Spruce Circle, eating from a bird feeder. And students at Danbury High School staged a walkout this morning protesting President Donald Trump's immigration policies. The Hatter's Herald, the Danbury High School student newspaper, shared this photo of the protest and said it was supervised by the administration. Over 30% of Danbury High School's student population is Hispanic. This walkout comes just days after President Donald Trump ordered aggressive enforcement of immigration law. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that Governor Daniel Malloy and several key department heads on Wednesday advised Connecticut police chiefs and public school officials to avoid taking special action against undocumented immigrants. Now, Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton criticized Malloy's action and said that the city stands ready to help ICE with Trump's crackdown and mass deportation plans. He estimated that Danbury has approximately 5,000 undocumented residents. Boughton stressed, however, that this doesn't mean city police will engage in roundups, identity checks, or mass deportations. The Department of Homeland Security still places convicted criminals atop a deportation priority list, and city officers won't ask for immigration documents on routine stops, according to Boughton. But let's switch gears now and throw it over to John Kovach for a look at the forecast. It's a beautiful day, John.
It is, Kate. Mostly cloudy and mild this morning around Fairfield County, but we'll see bits of sunshine later on today. Expected high around 60. Little breezy this afternoon with gusts 15 to 18 miles an hour before clouds move back in overnight with showers and fog around the county before Friday morning. Mostly cloudy and mild again tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid to high 50s. Then overnight fog will carry into Friday morning, but it should break early as there's a chance we see a little sunshine to end the week. Scattered showers throughout Friday afternoon and evening will turn into occasional rain and drizzle overnight, leading to the start of a wet weekend. Considerable cloudiness throughout Saturday with showers during the day. Wind gusts reach into the 20-mile-per-hour range. Expected high Saturday, 58. And then occasional evening rain Saturday. Chance for a passing thunderstorm, believe it or not, before temperatures cool off back down into the mid-30s overnight Saturday into Sunday. That'll do it for this weather update. Back to you, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, John. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John has your Nutmeg Sports update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars.
Wow.
Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com. Whether
you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stone'sthrowct.com. At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network. And we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this February 23rd edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and our own John Kovac has a few notes on this day in history.
I'm a slave to routine and I love history. What can I do? I can't do it the Justice Don Eng does, but I grabbed a few things. The estimated date, don't ask me how they came up with the estimate, of the printing of the first Gutenberg Bible, this date in 1455. Boston incorporated as a city in 1822. I found that interesting. I thought that a little later than I would think.
I think it'd be a bit older.
1886, the world's first classified ad appears in the Times of London.
Wow, all right. Those are some good ones, John. I like it. Now, switching over to our Nutmeg Sports update, a lot of girls ice hockey last night.
We had a doubleheader last night, set the stage for a huge Saturday of sports that we'll be talking about on Nutmeg Sports later today. Last night, the HAN Network was live at the Darien Ice House for the FCAC Girls Hockey Semifinals. The end of the night, three-time defending champion Darien Blue Waves and a young Greenwich Cardinals came away winners, securing spots in Saturday's FCAC Final. Despite a courageous effort from the Fairfield Co-op, which was making its first ever postseason appearance against the perennial power that is Darien, the depth and experience of the Blue Wave proved to be too much as they came away with a 2-1 win. Elise Marrow had 2 points for Darien. Emily Giannunzio kept Fairfield off the board for 59 minutes as the senior goalie looks to win her third consecutive FCAC championship as the starter for the Blue Wave. Let's look at the highlights from last night's Darien win.
Into Cassidy's skates, but she's able to keep it in the zone. All the way behind the net, sent out in front, no good. The rebound off the post and score! Elise Morrow with the goal at 9:27 remaining in the second, and it is a 1-0 Blue Wave lead. As back at the point, Drugan with a shot here, and it's in the net, score! Guerrera tried to get it with the blocker, didn't get all of it, and it's 2-0 now. The Wave on top. Goes to the slot. Player down in front, and the score! Grace Flink makes it a 1-goal game, and Fairfield right back in it.
And Fairfield had pulled the goalie just prior to that goal.
4 out in front. Opportunity? No. Darien returning to the FCAC championship. They will go for a 4th consecutive season. Their 6th in 7 years, holding off Fairfield Ludlow 2-1.
Game 2 matched the second-seeded Greenwich Cardinals and a third-seeded New Canaan Rams. Their third meeting of the season, the first two, ended in identical 2-2 ties. There would be no tie last night, as Greenwich scored 3 goals, including 2 by junior Haley Duffy, in the opening 3 minutes of the second period to cruise to a 4-1 win. Jessica Ware had 23 saves and was spectacular in net outdueling fellow rookie goaltender Kara Fahey to earn her 13th win of the season. Here's some highlights from Greenwich's big win.
Greenwich back down on the attack now below the end line. Centering pass again. Kelly receives, tries to wrap around there and scores.
Well, she got a clean shot on that one from behind.
Shot from the point here by Piotrowski. Kicked aside. Rebound opportunity. Score! Potter stayed out there, or else Greenwich would have had an opportunity for a breakaway. But Duffy in anyways, and she scores! Back on the HAN network following the New Canaan timeout after 2 quick goals to start the period. Could it be 3? You got it! Duffy almost identical to the one right before it.
You've got one timeout a game in hockey. You burn it, and then within a span of, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, you watch your team give up the exact same goal.
The Cardinals will move on and face the defending 3-time champion, Darien Blue Wave, as the clock strikes 0. And Greenwich caps off a 4-1 victory. The Rams are out. The championship is set.
Darien and Greenwich will drop the puck to decide the 2017 FCAC Girls Ice Hockey Champion at 12:50 Saturday afternoon from the Terry Connors Ice Rink in Stamford. The HAN network will be there for that game and a whole bunch more that we'll be talking about later. A lot of that was finally set last night as the boys ice hockey and boys basketball seasons finally came to an end. The seedings were finally set. Let's take a look first at the ice hockey field, where a Trumbull win over St. Joseph sent the Darien Blue Wave packing and punched a ticket for Stamford West Hill to get into the FCAC ice hockey playoffs. So the playdowns are now set. Number 3 Fairfield, 14-4-2, will play number 6 Greenwich, 9-10-1. That is at 3 p.m. Saturday at Terry Connors. Number 4 Stamford West Hill, 11-7-1, will take on number 5 St. Joe's, 7-12-1. That's at 5 p.m. The winners will advance to the semifinals on Wednesday, March 1st, also at Terry Connors. Top-seeded Ridgefield, 18-2, will take on the winner of the Stamford West Hill versus St. Joe's game, while second-seeded New Canaan will take on the Fairfield Greenwich winner. And those game times will be announced at 6 and 8. It's just got to be determined what the order is. The final, which you'll also see here on the HAN network, Saturday, March 4th, 2:30 p.m. The boys basketball team was also determined. The final seedings were determined last night. The field was set to beginning of the week. Playoff pictures were changing each and every day, and then really by the minute last night as we watched FCAC officials at the rink in Darien take calls and watch the seedings change. Here are the matchups finally and the schedule. Third-seeded Ridgefield will take on number 6 Ward at noon. That'll be followed by second-seeded Darien against 7th-seeded Danbury. 4th-seeded Trinity takes on number 5 Wilton at 5. And then the top-seeded Trumbull Eagles take on the 8th seed Brian McMahon Senators. That's at 7. We will have coverage of the entire boys basketball and hockey tournaments for you on the HAN network. We're back on the air tonight with the girls basketball championship at 7 from Fairfield Ludlow High School. We're going to talk a lot more about that on Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2 o'clock here on the HAN network. That's it for sports. Back to you, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, John. Well, this might come as a surprise to some, but according to Ridgefield Social Services Director Tony Phillips, 13% of Ridgefield households are surviving on low wages, while an additional 4% live at or below the poverty line. This underemployed and underpaid population is called ALICE, Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. As explained by the United Way, there are those living above the poverty line at just under $13,000 a year for an individual, but still struggling to afford basic necessities like food and housing. They are residents who couldn't find a full-time job, so they might be working 2 part-times without access to benefits. According to United Way's household survival budget in the state of Connecticut, a single adult needs just over $22,000 as bare minimum to afford housing and basic necessities. Now, for a family of 4, the number is $69,000 to $71,000, more than triple the U.S. family poverty rate. Under this survival income, an individual can afford to spend a maximum of $200 a month on food and save 10% of monthly earnings for unexpected costs. Now, that doesn't include toiletries or additional goods like professional attire. There's more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And Stratford dog owners are one step closer to having a park for their pooches to run and play. The Roosevelt Forest Commission voted Wednesday to recommend the location of a dog park in the town's forest on 1.5 acres at the site of an old ranger station. Commission members voted 9-1 in approval of the resolution under certain conditions, including removal of a vacant ranger station, construction of a small parking area, and the formation of a subcommittee that will report directly to the Forest Commission. The town council is expected to vote on that recommendation at its March 13th meeting. Approval is expected as most council members have endorsed that idea. John Rich, chairman of the Stratford Dog Park Subcommittee, said he's delighted that the Forest Commission has given its blessing. And residents may see a blue and silver or blue and white helicopter flying fairly low overhead this week or next. It's going to be Eversource conducting aerial inspections of high voltage electrical equipment on rights-of-way throughout Connecticut. The helicopter will fly over 98 towns in a semi-annual survey. It's equipped with heat-sensing infrared scanning technology, which can detect potential equipment issues before they occur. Weather permitting, the aerial inspections began Wednesday and continue through March 1st. They'll take place from 8:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. And a Darien woman has conquered the South Pole. Audrey Cadwallader recently returned from the South Pole and the summit of Mount Vinson, the tallest peak in Antarctica. She told a group at the Darien Community Association that she survived minus 45 degrees and still has all her fingers and toes. There is a lot more on her incredible journey at DarienTimes.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John Kovac joins me to preview the front pages of our HAN Network newspapers this week after this.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign your child up now for InSports Future Stars Basketball Academy, teaching skills on the basketball court for boys and girls ages 5 through 9. Visit InSportsCenters.com for more information on this 7-week program. And for adults, spots are also still available for our men's 30 and over and 40 and over leagues. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month, now through February 28th.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to this Thursday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach, previewing the front pages of our newspapers this week. John, what are you looking at first?
Are you getting ready for spring?
I am. It feels like it out there.
Antsy for spring. You getting ready for spring to start? Great shot of a robin. This from last spring as Weston waits for the arrival of the first robin of spring 2017. That a photo from Ted Kraft of Little Dream Pictures. Approval in Weston for the renovation of the police station. Alert about bears, like you just talked to us about, the appointment of an interim police chief, and a commentary from the first selectman about how Weston will deal with state budget cuts, something all of our towns are dealing with right now. What have you got, Kate?
All right, well, taking a look at the Ridgefield Press, interesting story here about the schools being quiet on recent thefts. Now, money, coats, sneakers, and gift cards have all recently disappeared from backpacks left in the girls' locker room at Ridgefield High School. So more on that story, discussing possibly a failure to communicate on the school's end. Also, a longtime butcher at Ridgefield Prime going to be retiring and moving to Arizona. He has a long history in the town there. Boys and Girls Club planning an expansion, and some discussions more about downtown development and first floor retail and kind of attracting residents and outsiders alike to Ridgefield. So.
In Darien, and this has gone on for decades, there is a resident of Middlesex Road who puts a sign out and counts down each day until spring. And a chance to make some sand angels on the front page of the Darien Times. Also discussions of changes to the Norotan Heights Shopping Center. Darien officials trying to sort out the impact of the governor's budget cuts. And a discussion with Scarlett Lewis and the Choose Love effort that she leads.
All right, taking a look at the Trumbull Times, state representatives discussing possibly a new entrance ramp in town that would be onto Route 25 at Whitney Avenue. I guess it was supposed to have been done years ago, but never happened. So now state representatives trying to make that a priority. Also, Jillian Duffy crowned Miss Trumbull 2017. Now, this was an event held by a local organization in town that honors veterans. So congratulations to Jillian Duffy. And Democrats responding to First Selectman Tim Herp's proposed budget, saying that there's some hidden taxes in there. Even though he tried to keep costs down, they say there's an increase in rentals and leases line items, which could cost taxpayers money in the long run.
New Canaan has created a fund to purchase open space, something that's always been a hot topic down there. Firefighters extinguished a fire at a River Roadhouse last Friday. The town is getting ready for the possible arrival of refugees, and there's more study of a site where there is a proposed apartment complex, but an old burial ground has been found. An update on what might lurk beneath in today's New Canaan advertising.
Must be exciting for those people expecting to buy in. Anyway, taking a look at the Shelton Herald, Mayor Mark Loretti again discussing a possible run for governor. He has formed exploratory committees in the past. And a very cool kindness campaign at Sunnyside Elementary School. Some great photos there by Aaron Berkowitz of that kindness wall. And something we've talked about in many towns, which is a drug drop-off box at the police station, serving as a prevention tool to get rid of some of those old expired medications. and the city settling a lawsuit with the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which we talked about earlier, actually at the end of the year, at the end of 2016, regarding that sign in Huntington Center.
Two stories about the long-discussed Stratford High School renovations. The rejection of a second appeal by a neighboring car wash is clearing the way a little more for that project to start. And there's a discussion now between union and non-union groups about the labor deal involved in that. A moped rider who was struck by a car Friday night in Stratford has passed away. Ground has been broken for renovations on the historic Sterling House Community Center. And Google has honored a Bunnell High School student for her doodle, which won one of their contests. It carries with it a message of diversity and inclusion.
All right, well, taking a look at the Milford Mirror, the mayor in Milford battling the state budget, as we're seeing in a lot of our towns, and some of the losses that towns would see in that budget proposal. Also a photo of work on the Founders Walk in the downtown area. That is underway and being built. City leaders also fighting the state's affordable housing law up in Hartford. And in some happier news, a student named 2017 Miss Emerald Isle, Colleen Hugo, congratulations to her, and Milford City historian signing up for another 5 years. John?
School officials in Easton are looking at a slim budget increase while the town says that it could cost $1.8 million, the cuts coming from Hartford to Easton. Joel Barlow actors are getting ready to perform Rashomon. Trustees are saying stay away from library funds, and a student at Joel Barlow won a Norwalk Symphony concerto competition.
All right, well, taking a look at the Wilton Bulletin, firefighters coming out to honor one of their own. They carried the coffin of their colleague Philip Reeves following a funeral at St. Matthew's Episcopal Church. And also discussion of 35 units for 183 Ridgefield Road, an age-restricted housing proposal there. Also, residents panning a proposed historic district plan for Wilton, and another story about drug collection boxes. The Wilton Women's Club plan unused medicine drive on March 4th.
The drug crisis also leading the Monroe Courier with a story about an Easton father who is looking at ways to address that. Monroe also dealing with the state budget cuts and trying to make ends meet with the loss of state funding. Two Planks Theater has opened its winter musical, and the Fix-It Man has retired from Cornell Carr of Monroe after a half-century working there.
All right, well, taking a look at the Reading pilot, similar to the Easton Courier and promoting Joe Barlow's production coming up. Also, central office requesting a 1.58% budget increase for the coming year. An interesting story here on Saturday, March 11th. There'll be a small town throwdown to benefit Zach Standen. Now, he is the high school student that was in a devastating car accident that left him partially paralyzed. The town coming together for a benefit there, John.
Our Golden Years special section appears this week, and that has all kinds of information about senior living, travel, staying active, staying healthy, staying fit. That's all in our Golden Years special section.
All right, and in arts and leisure, the Conscious Cook tells you how to get your green on, which is, of course, good as everyone's starting to get ready for some warmer weather. And a sculptor's art helps preserve the Stepney Green in Monroe. And, of course, there's a lot more in this week's arts and leisure, including all the latest local events. And, of course, coming up later today, Yankee Fisherman at 1 o'clock.
I got out fishing this weekend up in Massachusetts, and sometimes you're out and it's just you want somebody you're with to catch the big one. Well, we had that happen, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a special fish. We're also going to take a look at the state fish hatcheries with some of the DEEP officials and get you ready for a couple big events this weekend. Then we'll have Nutmeg Sports at 2, where I'll be joining Frank and the crew to preview this weekend's FCAC playoff action.
And are you going to be part of tonight's girls basketball action?
I think I'm spared the girls basketball, but I expect
what time does that start?
I expect that to change.
7 o'clock.
Sometime in the next 5 to 6 hours, I expect to be pulled on to that, yes.
All right. So don't miss any of that action tonight and later this afternoon. We're going to wrap things up here. It's going to be a busy weekend on the HAN Network, so be sure to follow it all at HAN.network and on Twitter at HAN Network CT. We'll see you next time. Hope you can enjoy all this beautiful weather today.